This week we will be talking about autumn and fall, which autumn and fall are the same exact things. And we'll be drawing some leaves and then some lines to show movement. And we're going to use some color settings. We're going to use warm colors for the leaves, which will be red, orange, yellow, and brown, because we're actually going to add some, instead of just leaves, we're going to add some acorns in here because they play a big part in fall as well. And your cool colors to show movement with your lines will be blue, purple, green, and black. And then, like I said, we were going to go use lines to show movement. And basically, autumn, fall, same thing, is one of the four seasons out of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And fall is the transition from summer to fall, when it turns from really, really hot weather to fall weather. That's when the daylight becomes shorter and the temperature cools down quite a bit. And fall started this year on Tuesday, September 22nd, and it will last till December 22nd, which will be the first day of winter. And the angle of the sun in the sky changes. It's breezier. You'll notice that the wind blows a lot more in fall. And there's going to be a short video on that explains the chemical process that causes leaves to change color that you will need to watch with this. And also, if you've ever heard the term fall foliage, it's just a fancy word meaning plants of leaves from a tree. And that's just a fancy word for a plant off of or leaves from a tree. And we'll notice when we draw acorns play a big part because they let our animals, as we done week before last, they let our animals know that once acorns start hitting the ground, our animals need to start stocking up for hibernation and stocking up on food for the winter for hibernation and getting in those, just taking acorns back to their habitat where they live. And they do come from oak trees, and this is more like an oak tree leaf right here. And you can choose whichever types of leaves you want to draw. And we'll go ahead and start drawing this. So first, we're going to draw our leaves, the shape of our leaves. So just pick whichever shape of leaf you want. And I can fit that in there. We'll start with this shaped leaf first. You want to make sure you draw all of your leaves and your acorns first before you put any lines for movement on your paper. So you just kind of bring each one of these out into a curvy point. And then we're going to put a stem on it and bring that stem down and curve it slightly, and then right beside it, bring another line up. Now, if you'll notice, in all of our leaves, we're going to put some lines through the center of them. And this is for the veins in the leaves, which helps get the water and the chemical chlorophyll that they need throughout the entire leaf. And you'll learn about the chlorophyll in the video. And wherever, you can lay it out however you want to on your paper with your leaves and your acorns. You can have more leaves. You at least need 2 acorns on your paper. We're just going to kind of bring a little point down for that acorn and give it some detail. And put our cap to our acorn on. And if you've ever noticed, a lot of acorns, once they hit the ground, this cap falls off of them. Some of them do stay on, but they do have this kind of cross-hatching. It's kind of like, it's called cross-hatching when you have this pattern right here, where they cross over each other, where the pattern crosses over each other. And then you just want to take and add just a little teeny tiny stem where that acorn has fallen off that tree. And I'm going to add another acorn because, like I said, I at least want 2 acorns on your paper. And then maybe 4 leaves, depending on the size of your paper. Like this one. If you don't have enough room, depending on how big you draw your acorns. Less than 4 leaves. But we need 2 acorns, at least 2 leaves. And then we're going to do cross hatching again for this cap on this acorn. And we're going to add our detail to it. And then do our cross hatching pattern. And for this leaf, you're just going to start at a point and kind of curve it around. Bring down that stem. Make that stem really skinny. Bring it back up, curving it around and back up to a sharp point. And as usual, we need to add our veins inside of our leaves. And I put one last little acorn over here just to fill in the space of my paper. Which is just a U shape as my other ones. A little point at the end, right at the bottom of the U. Then put that cap on it by bringing it around, curving it around. And we're going to add our cross-hatching pattern for our acorn cap and our stem. Now, then you're just basically going to choose your colors of your leaves, which could be the leaves, of course, what I said was they were warm colors, red, orange, yellow, or brown. This is kind of a brownish orange. It's called tiger brown. And it doesn't matter if you use marker, crayon, coloring pencil. But if you'll notice, I'm laying that marker on its side because it takes a lot less time and it doesn't mash the tip of that marker. And I'm not sitting here going back and forth, constantly trying to fill it in. takes way less time to color on its side if you have broad tip markers. You can use crayon, coloring pencil, whatever. Whatever is available to you. And then we're just going to basically fill in our acorns because we pretty much have the detail on them. So we're going to fill those in with brown because acorns are a brown color. The caps on them are a little bit lighter brown than this, but I only have one color of brown and a marker. So let's hope that the detail from that from the black shows up. I'm just going to try to color it a little faster. So we can see some of the white of the paper come through. And we'll turn our paper and finish off our acorn. Our last acorn. Like I said, you only have to have 2. I went ahead and stuck me 3 in there. And then I think I'll do my other one since I only have 2 leaves. You may want to try to put 3 on your paper, at least 3 leaves, so that way you can have a red, all your warm colors, red, orange, yellow, and then your acorn for brown. And okay, now we're going to move into our lines to show movement. So I'm just going to trace around, and where everything dips in, I'm going to dip it in. And where it comes out, I'm going to bring those lines out. And this lines to show movement is almost like, you know how I told you it was windier in the fall, or it's almost like they are falling off of the trees. So you kind of caught them in movement with the wind blowing or falling off of the trees. I'm going to go around our acorn. Then we'll go around our first leaf here. Oops. Can't keep my hands steady today. And then go around our last acorn. And as you notice, some of it will go completely around, but because everything is so packed in there, just like this one, once you run out of space, you just keep up with the lines and going whichever ways they're twisting and turning, but you just run them into each other and don't overlap the lines, which means like right here, don't keep going through these. Just leave these like they are. And we're going to continue to finish doing that, showing you that right here. So we went around this one. Now we're going to go around our acorn. With our next color. And go around this one. Without overlapping these lines at all. And running them into lines that are going another way. And then I'm going to use green for our cool colors. And bring these together. Take our last line around this. And we're going to come to our acorn. I am going to add some my next lines, if I have room for them, in black. Now, for our lines that kept going, we have more of. We're just going to start back over to keep the same pattern. Because we need to fill in all the space on the paper with these lines that show movement. And that's our last one for around our acorn. And the last one that fills in this space for what was left over. And there we have our fall leaves and our acorns. And like I said, you can choose different types of shapes of leaves, because there's also this shape and this shape, along with the ones that we drew today. And enjoy your fall leaf with movement project.